Hi, this is a tutorial to play Amazing Grace, and this is level 1. This is just going to be the right hand melody. There is a link in the description to get a label of the piano keys if you're not familiar, and a melody page. Now, if you're not familiar with writing on the music staff, like where the notes go, you can just use a blank piece of paper. That's fine. And I'll show you, just copy like the direction that we're going up and down. So, and this is my practice pal, Parker the Pig. He's going to be here with us for this. So, your thumb starts right here on middle C, and it's middle C because it's right here closest to the name of the piano. There's middle C. If you place one finger on each note, your hand would be like this. That's not where we're going to start. Your thumb stays here and all the other fingers move up one note. So you have this gap. You're going to skip one. Okay? So we start out by playing C and then F with the third finger right here. Okay, and that's a longer note. Then we're going to play 5-3-5 or AFA. And hold that for long. G, F. Okay, now we do something tricky. This 2 comes back down and skips back down to a D. Okay, we're going to write down just so you have a sheet of paper to follow and, practice with so you don't forget. This is Amazing Grace. Okay, and we're going to do this in 4 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and this was section 1. We're going to start right here on C. It's kind of below, hanging down below that line. And then F. Then we wait a little, leave a little space because that note is held out. And then A, F, A. And we wait a little while because that note is held out. G, F, a little longer. D, C. And if you don't have the lines, just imagine that that's how you write it on a blank piece of paper. Okay. Now, another really important thing is to write in which fingers to use. And it's important because your fingering is going to help it sound very smooth and be easy. And if you use the same fingers every time, that also helps you remember it, rather than if you're changing it every single time. So we start on your thumb. Remember, we skip up to your 3 right here. 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3. And this 2 is going to skip a note. And when it does something a little different, I try to highlight it, put a little star around it, just so you remember that's not just in the same order. There you go. You got 1, 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was number 1. All right, here's number 2. It starts the same as number 1. Okay, that's exactly the same, but we do something very different. We're going to play, get a lid on this. We're on this A right here. We're going to play the G, but we're not going to use this finger. We're going to move your hand up and use number 2 on that G. The reason is the next note is clear up here. And it's much easier when we're going to be playing the next few notes up here. And you don't want to go here. You can't even stretch there. So you change to 2, 5. Okay, let's write that out here. We just copy the first part exactly. C, F, space, A, F, A, space. Now we're going to play G and then go up to this C. Do you see how that's a C and that's a C? But They're different on the piano. This C is right here. This C is up here. There's two black keys, two black keys. Okay, now we'll put our finger numbers on. 1, 3, same as the first line. Now here when we put our 2 right here, pay attention because that's different. And then your 5th finger should just be resting on the C already. Ta-da, we already are halfway through. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, now the 3rd line. This one is a little bit longer. Okay, we ended up here on the C, so just rest all your fingers here. The 3rd finger's on A. A, C, and hold that for a long time. And A, C, A, F. Okay, we're on here. Now the next note we have to play is down here. So we're just going to hop your whole hand down to your thumb. Then 2 Fs, D, C. Okay, let's write that out. We go A, C, and then leave a little gap because that's longer than A, C, A, F. That's a little longer, but we hop down here to C, and then D, 2 Fs, D, C. And then the fingering. 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, thumb. And then when your thumb moves down here, put a little starburst around it so you know it's different. And then this is 2, 4, 4, 2, 1. That's a close-up of what we got there. Okay, you can always pause the video if you need to look longer. Now, our 4th line. Okay, we ended up, we played D, C. This is where we ended up. Now we're going to play this C again, but we're going to go back to our first position where our thumb is here and all the other fingers are up 1 note because our next note is this F. And this is just like the beginning. In fact, it is the same as that first line, except we just leave off the going down to the D and C. We just stop on that F. So that's going to be easy. Just copy the first line. C, F, and leave some space. A, F, A, G, F. And your thumb is on C. You go up to the 3. So I'm going to put a star on that to remind you, you move your hand up like we did up here. 5, 3, 5, 4, 3. Okay, here's a close-up of what that looks like. And go ahead and practice this whole thing straight through, and then I'll see you on level 2. Okay, here we are on level 2 of Amazing Grace. This is what we have so far, and you should be able to play this really easily now. On level 2, we are going to add the left hand. We're going to add just a single note in the left hand. All right, the first note you play all by itself. You're not going to play anything with this C. The left hand comes in on F, and in the left hand you're going to play an F. So I'm going to write that down here below. F, A, F, A. Now when you play this A, you're going to play another F. G, F. Okay, now under this F, we're going to play a B flat. That's what it looks like. It looks like a lowercase b. Here's a B flat. Here's the note B. B flat is just down. It's a half step down, so it's on the black key right there. All right, B flat, D. And now when we play this last C, we're going to play an F. Okay, so that sounds like this. I'll use this F. You can just use one finger, or if you'd like, you could put your pinky here and then just your two right there. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what we do on the next line. The C comes all by itself like in the first line, and then we play an F, we write it as well. F, A, F, G, and I'm going to write G7, because if you're playing full chords, that tells us something else to do. But if you're not playing the chord like we are right now, just play a G. G, when you play this high C, you're going to play a C with the left hand. Then this A comes all by itself. When you play this C, you play F. Look at that pattern. That F comes in on the second note of every line. So that makes it a little easier. A, C, A, F, and you play an F right here. C, D, you're going to play a B flat, just like the first line. F, F, D, when you play this last C, you play an F. Okay, that's what we have. Now on this last line, C, when you play this F, you're going to play a D. And when we do chords, I'm putting a little lowercase m, we're going to play a minor chord. That's in step 3. So for step 2, only play a D. A, F, A. As soon as you play this A, you're going to play a C, G, F. When you play the final F, you play an F in the left hand. Okay, and this is what it will sound like. There you go. See you in level 3. All right, welcome to level 3, where we are going to add chords to our Amazing Grace. Where these blue notes are, now we're going to make chords. Now you'll just need a blank piece of paper, and we're going to write down the names of the chords. When we play an F, we have an F chord. Here's how you would play an F chord. F, A, C. See how it skips one note each time? For this piece, we're going to do an inversion of the F chord. We're going to play the same notes, but we're going to take this C and we're going to put it to the bottom. So we're going to play C on the bottom and then keep the same F and A right here. And these are the fingers you use, your pinky, your 2, and your 1. And you'll see the reason I'm doing that is if we did just an F up here, it would kind of collide with the right hand. But if it were way down here, it just sounds really low, and then we have to hop up here for other chords. So if we just flip that around, and that's called an inversion, C, F, A, same notes, F, A, C, C, F, A. That's going to keep our hand kind of in the same place, and it's going to sound better. It's not going to sound so jumpy. So this has a C on the bottom, and then a bigger gap up to F and A. All right, the next chord that we're going to play is a B flat chord. Okay, remember B flat is right here. Or if we're doing this F, A, C, it's kind of easy to just move down to this B flat. Instead of this one, we'll just put your pinky down here and we play a B flat, a D, and an F. So a B flat, D, F. All right, the next chord is a G, and it's a 7th chord. Now usually 7 chords have 4 notes. It's like this. G is the root. That's number 1. And if we go up, the first note that we add is called the third, because if you count 1, 2, 3. The next note is the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if we add a 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 3, 5, 7. All right. When you play a 7 chord, all of a sudden it has 4 notes. So it's like all of a sudden a louder chord or stronger. And so we leave one out usually. And we usually leave out this D. Now this is going to collide up into our melody up here in the right hand. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep the G where it is and take this B and F and actually put it down here. B, F, and there's the G. So my pinky is on B, F, and G. That's the G7. B on the bottom, F, and G right next to each other. All right, the next chord that we play is a C chord. Okay, can you guess what the notes of the C chord are? If we start on C and we just skip up a letter each time, C, E, G, C, E, G. All right, now our D, lowercase m, is a D minor chord. And that starts on a D, and we just skip up to the next letter, F, A. Now, the reason really quick it's called a minor because, see how that kind of has a bluesy or sad sound? A major would have an F sharp. But this does not have the F sharp, so it's down to minor. So that's fine. All right. Those are the chords we're going to play. Now, let's listen to how that sounds while playing those chords. There you go. Lovely. Practice that. And then if you're up for even a bigger challenge, I'll see you on the bonus. Okay, welcome to the bonus challenge for Amazing Grace, you brave soul. All right, you should be able to play all that we have so far, which was here, the melody, the left hand, and even the chords. You got that pretty well. Now we're going to do something different with the chords. All right, let's think of the style of Amazing Grace. It's a slow, lyrical, smooth sounding. So we're not going to do a bouncy, jumpy left hand. We want it to be very smooth. I like to do just a broken up chord. So you play the bottom, the middle, and the top. But we're going to change one of the chords just in the inversion. Remember the first chord for the F chord, we did this inversion, but if we play bottom, middle, top, I don't like it starting on there. I like it starting on the F. So I'm going to go way down here to this F. See, I think that sounds more grounded and more solid. Now, here's a challenge. I like breaking it up over a full octave. So if we play 1 and 2, and then wait till you play this top note, you're just going to play an F, same note that you started on the bottom, till the third count. Or it'd be like, see how you just pause? Those times where we held it out, you just hold it out in the left hand too, and then you play together on that third count. I like that sound. You can play with just doing the chord. Then I'm going to show you a couple fancy little things we can do. All right, so here's how it is. With the fingering here, it's 5, then 3, and 2, so my thumb can reach up to that. Ready? Okay, now we're going to come to the G7. Instead of just doing these three, I'm going to play 1, 2, 3, wait, 4, G, B, D. I'm just going to go back to that original root position where it starts on G and play all 4 notes. So here it starts that line. Then we go to C. Okay, here I like to do a, what would you call this? An arpeggio, just a fancy C. Play the left hand, then do a right hand chord, then rocket chip over and hit the C. So here's that whole line. Fancy. Okay, then A all by itself, we're back to F. B flat. D minor. Now let's do a big ending. Broken chord, left hand, right hand, crossover for left hand, right hand, and you can't see I'm going to rocket chip all the way up and play an F at the top. So the left hand, the last line sounds like this.